Hello and welcome back to All About Gaming. This is episode 4. I'm your host Joe at _water on Twitter. Nice to have you back. So this week, we're going to be talking about gaming news, what I've been playing, and also the poll of the week, which I posted up on Twitter, which we'll get to later. But first, the gaming news. So let's get on with it. Now, it's not been a really busy week in terms of gaming news, but there's still a bit to talk about. So the very first thing we're going to talk about is FIFA 21's next gen upgrade, which comes out on the 4th of December. Now, I'm going to just tell you a few of the details that are going to be in this next gen upgrade. So we know that it runs at 4K at 60 frames per second, which is quite good. We know it's got a new cinematic as well for when the game starts up, and also when the actual football matches are starting. Apparently, there's new cinematics outside the stadium with the players pulling up in the coach and things like that. There's also the more important things that we want to know about on the pitch is deferred rendering, whatever that means, runtime lighting, which improves the realism of textures. There's also a new strand-based hair tech, so you get to see the hair, which is quite cool. Footballers' hair is very important to them, after all, isn't it? There's muscle deformation on players. There's next-gen ball compression. The animations apparently look a lot better. The pre-match cinematics already mentioned that. It loads faster, which of course is a big feature of next gen. And apparently you can jump into certain features from the activities on PS5. So you just go in the activities menu, jump in, and you'll be straight in the game. So that's pretty cool. And finally, it also makes use of the haptics on the DualSense, which is pretty cool. So apparently, when the players get really tired or whatever, it's harder to push down R2. So that could be quite interesting. It's really going to be cool to see that working. Hopefully there's some more haptics on there as well. Hopefully it's not just that. Hopefully we get to see some nice sort of, like, say for instance you're taking a free kick or whatever, a penalty, that the haptics come into play maybe. Or if you're taking a corner, or maybe just even being able to feel yourself kicking the ball, that would be quite cool, wouldn't it? So we'll see how that goes. Okay, next up, Phil Spencer has been talking about Xbox, and he's been saying that he reckons that we might see an app soon on TVs. So instead of having your console or whatever, if you just want to jump into a quick game using Game Pass and Project xCloud, you can just load up an app on the TV, a bit like you do with Netflix or whatever, and then you can just play games. Oh, so all you need is a TV and a controller, smart TV and a controller. Okay, so what he says is, I think you're going to see an Xbox app in the next 12 months. I don't think anything's going to stop us from doing that. Now, as you said, a TV is a bit more of a game console stuffed behind a screen that has an app platform and Bluetooth stack and streaming capability. It really isn't a TV anymore. It's just a function of devices that we have around our TV consolated into one big screen. So basically, it's just saying a TV can do everything now, I think, from that. Moving on, and Ubisoft are looking into the problems that people have been having with Watch Dogs and Assassin's Creed. Now, I've not had this problem personally, because I bought the digital version, but if you buy a digital version of Assassin's Creed, for instance, you can just play the PS5 version, no problem. But apparently, if you bought the disc version, then there's people who are having issues upgrading, which is a bit of a shame. So hopefully that will all be sorted. Ubisoft has said, we're aware players in the UK are experiencing this issue, upgrading physical versions of some Ubisoft games from PS4 to PS5. We are working to resolve this and confirm anyone experiencing this issue will still be eligible for their free upgrade. Stay tuned for more information. So hopefully that will be fixed soon, because that is a bit harsh, isn't it, that you can't access the next gen version. A quick bit of news, Metro Exodus is getting a free next gen upgrade, and there was also a hint that a new Metro game is coming out soon. Well, I say soon, probably next year or year after, or maybe even 2023, but hey, at least we know it's going to happen eventually. The PlayStation Plus for December has been announced, Just Cause 4, Worms Rumble, which is a brand new game, and also Rocket Arena, which is the EA game. Now, all three of these are playable on PlayStation 5, so that's pretty cool. Although, whether I don't think they have any particular upgrades as such, I think it's just that's the way it is. I'm not sure about Worms Rumble. Maybe there's a PS5 version of that. I'm not sure. I've played the beta though, and I didn't really like it that much, so I won't be downloading it. But hey, I'm sure there's some people out there who think, yeah, Worms. To be honest, I just think Worms was great, but I think it's a bit like many old games. It's kind of evolved, and it's not evolved in a good way, in my opinion. So you go. Back to Assassin's Creed Valhalla, and a new patch has been released for PS5 and Xbox Series X versions of the game, which allows them to run in performance mode at 60 frames per second. You can also choose a quality mode, which lets you run at maximum resolution while maintaining 30 frames per second. The patch also adds a few other things. For instance, fish in Norway will now spawn in bad weather, so it's good to know that, isn't it? Of course, many people might already know about this patch because this is probably a little older now, but I just wanted to mention it anyway for those who don't have the game or for those who've not played it yet. Marvel Avengers sales were lower than expected and didn't offset development costs. Ouch. Estimated loss of $67 million, although Square is hoping to recoup that through sales and through new DLC and stuff like that. But to be honest, I wasn't really that impressed when I played the demo of Marvel and I never bought it. And I wonder how many other people get put off with the demo. It'd be interesting to know, wouldn't it? Spanish Spanish PS5 and Xbox Series X sales have been revealed. At launch, the PS5 sold 38,000, while the digital version sold 5,000. Xbox Series X sold 10.5 thousand, while the Xbox Series S sold 3.6 thousand. To compare, the PS4 sold 38,000, so that's identical to the PS5, and the Xbox One sold 15,000. So the Series X and S combined just sold under at launch what the Xbox One did, although there has been sort of supply constraints, so that has to be taken into account as well. This week's charts, and FIFA 21 was the winner with Black Friday, where it did get a bit discount, so there's no wonder why. Call of Duty Black Ops #2, no surprise. Animal Crossing Horizons, that was also in the charts at #3. Mario Kart 8 Deluxe was there, and Assassin's Creed Valhalla. I imagine all of these Nintendo games got discounted. I did see them at £35. Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, that was still up there at #6. Marvel Avengers #7. Minecraft Switch #8. Super Mario All-Stars #9. And Just Dance 2021 was #10. The Immortal Phoenix Rising reviews came out as well. I've just rounded up a few of them here. God is a Geek gave it 9 out of 10. VGC gave it 2 out of 5, so they didn't like it very much. Joe Shockers gave it 75 out of 100. Game Reactor 8 out of 10. IGN 7 out of 10. GameSpot 7 out of 10. So there we go. That's all the gaming news for now. As I say, not as much as usual, but we still got some, so we can't complain. And finally, I did my little did you know thing. And what I wanted to say was, did you know that PS5 takes a clip of your voice when you unlock a trophy? Did you know that? I didn't. Okay, game news out way. Let's talk about games. Right, we've done the game news. Now we're going to do the poll of the week. The poll of the week that I asked was, what do you consider completing a game? Now, I was thinking about this, so I thought I would do a poll about it. And because I was thinking, well, I've completed hundreds of games probably from, and what I mean by complete is basically completed the story, completed the main sort of crux of the game. I've written you kind of need to sort of finish to say, oh, I've seen the story, I've played it through, I've enjoyed it, it's finished. But I was just wondering if some people actually consider completing a game platinum, because I don't actually consider that as completing a game because I don't really care about trophies. I mean, I like when they ping and all that, but I don't go out my way to get them. And I don't really like, because a lot of games you have to sort of do or collect 12 orbs or whatever from sort of some bizarre bit of the game somewhere in the way back in a level you've already passed, so you have to play through the game again to get these orbs or whatever. And it's like, well, my chair's just decided to sink down. Yeah, so let's try that again, shall we? My chair's broken. Need to get a new one. Anyway, yeah, so I don't really like getting out my way in games and playing about 5 times through the story just so you can sort of get these orbs or whatever it is, artifacts, or kicking someone a certain way 12 times or whatever. I'm not that bothered, but I know a lot of people do care, so I thought, well, let's just find out what other people think. Now, it seems the majority of people agreed with me. There was 220 votes. Thank you very much for that. And 78% said that finishing the story they regard as completing the game, and 22% said the platinum is how they consider, or 100% game score is how they consider completing the game. So I'm glad that people have replied to that. Thank you very much for that. Keep doing it for next week's poll week, which I don't know what it is yet, so we'll get around to that. So let's just look at a few of the comments, shall we? Now, Alex Hilton, he said he sees it in two ways. Beating the story is finishing the game, but completing the game is doing everything. Fair enough. Dan Burgess, so one on Twitter, he said, I buy far too many games to be a platinum hunter. Yes, I'm sort of in that boat as well. Uh, Joe Garcia, he said, Joe Garcia, sorry, get it right. Finishing the story for sure, but I'm platinum hunter most of the time, so I suppose getting the platinum would also be considered to me completing a game. Mark Armstrong said, I feel the other bonuses are just to increase the game's lifespan, plus some are time limited, claim an online only trophy, for instance, but where GameStop's offering online support, you can't do it anymore. So that's fair enough as well. Luke Phillips, he says completing the game is getting the platinum for me. If I've seen the credits, I've finished the game. Once I get the platinum, I've completed it. But that's just me. Obviously, most people would consider completion to be rolling the credits. This opinion is for my OCD only. Yeah, I'm a bit OCD myself, but not for trophies, thankfully. Otherwise, I'd just be sitting there all the time going, gotta get trophies, gotta get trophies. Uh, oh, right, I need to pronounce this one. Monsieur Sushi de Vita de Care. Sorry, can't say that. I'm not really that bilingual, I'm afraid. It depends on the game. Principally, I just finish the story, but for some, I do get the platinum trophy, but not always 100%. Martin Westcott says, I like to go for the platinum, but don't consider it essential. And finally, Wallplays PS5 said, definitely fiction story. Platinum trophies are sometimes hidden by time-consuming, missable, or difficult barriers that don't reflect how most people play games at all. For me, platinum trophies are my love note to a game, my stamp of approval. So there's your opinion on whether I forgot what the poll was, on whether a Finch game is fiction story or platinum at 100% gamer scoring it, whatever. So yeah, if you agree with that, comment. If you don't, let us know why. Okay, right, that's on to part three, the final part of All About Gaming. And today we're talking about what games I've been playing. Now, you might have seen on the channel that I've done quite a few videos now. Spider-Man, Astro, Dirt 5. I've done that many. I forgot. Assassin's Creed, Sackboy. So yeah, I've been playing all of them, and you can throw Watch Dogs into the mix too, and also a bit of Falconeer. Right, let's just talk about Falconeer first, because I never really played it for that long, mainly because I didn't really like it, to be honest. Uh, I played the demo and it just bored me. It never really grabbed me straight away. And to be honest, I don't need to review games anymore. It's not my job anymore. I'm not really bothered about being a freelance journalist or full-time editor, whatever it is I used to do in the past as a career. Now I just do it for fun. And to be honest with you, I'm happy about that. Before, in the past, I did love my job for sure, yeah. But the problem was, like, it was just so difficult. People talk about crunch. Try being a journalist, man. It's well difficult. I mean, I don't know how many games I reviewed, and let's say a month like this November, I would I would be reviewing 30 games easy. Try finishing 30 games in a month. You're up all hours. You're working basically all night for a month, all day, all night for a month. That's like a crunch. It really is, and it's tough. It's really tough, and especially when you're playing games that absolutely suck. And that's kind of how I feel. I don't think the Falconeer sucks. I mean, it's good. It'll be good for people who enjoy it. I'm not saying it's a bad game. It looks nice. It seems to control well, but it's just not for me. And I don't need to review it, so I'm not. So I played it. I thought, nah, don't want to waste my time with this. So I didn't. So yay, I don't have to do it. No offense to the developer or anything. I just wasn't for me, and that's okay. Not every game's for everybody, is it? So it's absolutely fine. But isn't it nice just to be able to play the games you want to be playing? And that's what I kind of want to do in my channel. If there's a game I've played and I didn't really like it eventually, then fair enough, I'll do a video on it. But if I start a game for the channel and I don't like it, then chances are I'm probably just not going to do a video on it, and I'll just mention it on the podcast like I have here instead, because I think that's a fair way of doing it. What's the point? What's the point of just being all negative for the sake of it and just doing a video that's negative? And then I've also wasted my time to do a negative video. Well, no, it's just not for me. I've not I'm done with reviewing stuff that I don't like playing. So yeah, not really for me, Falconeer, but I think some people might like it. Uh, the other games I've mostly been spending time with this week is Dirt 5, which I've done video on again. Really like it. Think it's excellent. What a really, really good game. It's very arcade-like, very MotorStorm, very pick up and play, enjoyable, looks great, sounds great, feels great. It's competitive, fun. There's not really a lot more to say about it. If you're looking for a really good racer, then Dirt 5 is it. It's a really good racer. It's just one of these games. Oh, I've got 15 minutes spare. What do I do? Pick up Dirt 5, do a race. You'll have great fun, and then you can put it down, forget about it. No story, nothing to sort of keep in your mind. It's just kind of mindless fun. I've not even really played online, and I'm loving it. So, I mean, I think that's sign a great game, and it really is a great game. I can kind of see why 2K want to buy Codemasters, to be honest, because they do make quality games. Oh, and there goes the door. So I'll be back in a minute. Okay, I've answered the door. Amazon. I swear we seem to get Amazon every day. It's just like every time I sit down, the doorbell rings. Now we live with my father-in-law, and obviously there's all the kids in the house, and everybody's always out ordering stuff. But it's like ding ding ding. It's always daft stuff as well. Who knows what he orders? I'm always answering the door. Terrible, terrible. Anyway, Dirt 5, great game. So order it or check it out. Or if there's a demo, which at some point, which hopefully there will be, or if it's in PlayStation Plus, or Game Pass, or whatever, you need to try it out, even if you're not going to buy it now. And to be honest, it's probably one of these games that will get really cheap really fast, isn't it? So even more excuse to pick it up. It was cheap at Black Friday actually, 39.99, so it's already discounted. I don't know if that price has changed now, so it might be worth checking out before it does. So yeah. The other game I've been playing is Assassin's Creed Valhalla. Oh, it's so good. I really like it. It's totally Assassin's Creed Odyssey with a different skin and a different story, but like it's essentially the same game in principle. Like everything feels the same about it. The open world, the different types of stories, the way the stories are told. It kind of feels like the same game but with a Viking skin. And as I said in my videos, the sort of Viking theme is really, really good. It's really fun. It's well thought out. There's lots of fun side missions as well. There's tons of bugs. I mean, I mentioned some of the bugs in my video as well, so you should maybe watch it and check them out. But 'cause I don't want to repeat myself, but yeah, it's a really good game. What have I spent? Probably 10 hours, probably a bit more playing it. I'm definitely going to be playing more of it as well. It's one I'll definitely be looking to complete. It is very Witcher-esque. It's very Witcher-esque. It so much reminds me of Witcher, even like because when you're riding along your horse and you're going from one mission to the next, it's kind of like this is just the Witcher. It kind of it just has that look about it, but that's not a bad thing. The combat could probably be better though. I mean, that's the one thing that lets it down probably, because I think sometimes you have to dodge and stuff, and it just the dodging feels a bit off to me. I don't know what it is. There's something not right about the combat that I just don't really enjoy. Maybe it's because I'm using a two-handed weapon. Maybe I should try it with like two one-handed weapons or something. Maybe it'll be a bit faster and more fluid, but I'm not really enjoying it with a two-handed weapon, but it's my best weapon, so I'm going to keep using it. There's also pretty cool special abilities. The way your character evolves, there's so many ways they can evolve. It just seems to, you always seem to be evolving, and then there's these hidden secrets which give you other powers as well throughout the world, so you need to find them. So there's so much to explore, and it's always worth exploring as well, so that your character can get better. So yeah, really enjoying it. Looks great. It's another fun video game. Yep. So okay. So yeah, that's what I've been playing. That's the poll of the week. That's the gaming news. So what else can we talk about before we go? I guess what's coming out soon, and what's coming out soon, Cyberpunk. Now I think, and FIFA 21 actually, the next gen version that's coming out, and also Immortal Phoenix Rising. Now obviously we talked about uh, the review scores for the latter, and there's kind of seem to be Marmite. Let's just check Metacritic for it, because obviously that was a few days ago. I think it was yesterday I wrote down that news. So it'd be quite interesting to know what the reviews are up to now, because there's a lot more of them now. 82? Not bad at all, eh? That's out of how many reviews is that out of? That's out of 30 positive reviews, 5 mixed, 0 negative. So there we go. So actually, maybe it's a bit better than I thought it was. To be honest, I played the demo. I don't know. I don't think it's really for me. I think this is one of those games I might grab when it's cheaper, because it felt quite average to me, but I'm not that sure I was, because obviously Watch Dogs Assassin's Creed, it's another open world Ubisoft game, and I'm already going to be spending hours and hours in the Assassin's Creed, so do I really want to commit to another one, especially when Cyberpunk's coming out? I mean, I'm not even sure I want to commit to Cyberpunk at the moment. I'm thinking I could play it in my PC and look at all these wonderful ray tracing, but then I could just use the excuse to wait for the PS5 version, and then that way I don't need to worry about rushing through Assassin's Creed. So I'm still in kind of two minds. I did fold and buy FIFA 21 though, because it was the Champions Edition was got 35 quid in PSN, and then I used vouchers from Shop 2 and I got it for about 30 quid, and it's normally 70 when it launches. So I just couldn't resist, because I love football. So, and I have to check out the PS5 next gen version. So look out for a video of that. Uh, yeah, so I'm looking forward to playing that actually. So that'll be good. That'll be good. So yeah, okay, that's this episode over. I hope you like it. Please like, subscribe. Remember, you can listen on iTunes, Spotify, Podbean, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, and loads of places. Loads of places. You can even go Alexa, play the latest episode of All About Gaming. So how cool is that? Okay, thanks for joining me again. Maybe in the future we'll have guests. Hopefully. I've not really thought about it, because I just thought I'd make these unmown for now. But we'll see how it goes. I hope you enjoyed the episode anyway. Thanks for joining me. See you later. See you next time. Bye.